Hello and welcome back to Mr. Thompson's art class. So today we're going to be doing texture. So there's different types of texture and we'll talk about it shortly. So for your attendance, make sure you're doing your assignments the day that I assigned them, please. Get them turned in before midnight on the day that it's due so you can get counted present for your attendance. Okay? Moving on with the announcements, this Friday, the 16th of October, is the end of the 9 weeks grading period. So progress reports are coming out next week. All grades, all missing assignments should be submitted already. Okay. So they're due for me on Friday. I got to put them in by Friday, 12 o'clock. So I'm going to be done grading by Friday, 12 o'clock. So make sure you have all your missing assignments turned in. Make sure you get your supplies. Markers and colored pencils are especially needed next week. We're going to start off with a color wheel. You're going to need those markers and colored pencils to do your color wheel. Get yourself a ruler, glue stick, scissors, copy paper, and a sketchbook. Okay. Joke of the day: how can you tell when Dracula has a cold? He starts coughing. All right. Here's the champs for face-to-face and synchronous learners that join the Google Meets. Do now that you need to write down the description for 3 types of texture. So texture is the way something feels. Write down the description of 3 textures, 3 types of textures. All right, so turn in your do now with your assignment. It's part of your grade. So your learning target for today is we're going to use the elements of art to create art. Specific element is texture. You're going to learn by verbal and visual instruction, and the reason why is to discover how to create art using texture. Okay, so this is your unit organizer. Texture is a live link. You can click on it. It'll take you to a presentation about texture, the same with all the previous subjects we covered on the schedule. All right, so elements of art, texture. Here's a video about it. Watch it, please. It tells you about texture and how to make different types of texture. There's visual texture. There's simulated texture, which is texture that you imitate on your paper. And then there's rubbing, where you take your paper and you rub it. We're going to be using that type of texture, simulated texture. And then there's invented texture, texture that you create on your own. All right, so texture is the element of art that refers to how things feel or look as if they might feel if they're touched. Every surface has a texture. Texture plays an active part in many decisions we make: what to wear, what to eat, how things taste, etc. All right, so 2 types of texture. Invented texture are 2-dimensional patterns created by the repetition of lines or shapes. Faux finishes are an example of invented texture. Both of these wall treatments in the picture here are examples of invented texture. All right, so simulated texture imitates real textures. So you got simulated and you got invented. All right, so those are both 2-dimensional textures that look like a type of texture. And then you have actual texture you can touch, like this lizard, the furry cats, animal, the rabbit, rose, cactus. You don't want to touch the cactus, you might hurt yourself. All right, so visual texture, it's the illusion of a 3-dimensional surface. How you perceive texture is the way that you think it looks or feels. All right, and here's ways that you can create texture: rubbing with charcoal, crown pencils, or colored pencils, like in the example right here. And then invented or simulated, creating your own or simulating texture on a 2-dimensional surface. Here's some examples right here. All right, so I want you to play the video. This is a tutorial video. It'll tell you how to draw the turtle, and then for your assignment, after you draw the turtle, here I want you to go on a scavenger hunt. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sections. I want each section to be filled with a different texture. You're going to take your pencil, put it on its side, and do a rubbing of the texture in each of the sections of the turtle. So as you see here, I went around the school, I did this, and I found different textures and filled in each section here with a different type of texture. All right, and I did a little bit of shading to make the turtle pop out a little bit. All right, and that is it. Turn in your do now and your assignment together. And here's our brag board. If you're in a face-to-face or the Google Meet sections, I do shout outs to students that I notice are doing good things. I try to make sure that I get everybody on my roster. I do a few at a time. All right, and then your exit ticket. Please click here, and it'll take you to a Google form for your exit ticket. The link is also included in the assignment. Please click on it and do that for me. All right, and that's it for today. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.